comparison is the thief of joy. And we live in a society where we are constantly being pitted against one another, where we are comparing ourselves to others. Um, Me personally, one thing that I'm still very weak with, like something that I personally tend to fall into, I tend to fall into the trap of words and wording, and how, like those titles, like grab attention type of titles that, um I mean, there's nothing wrong with grabbing attention as long as it's not like deceitful. And that's the issue with most of these contents that we actually consume. And I'm truly trying to consume as little as possible. Like, I feel like I'm shielded completely from the outside world, because I'm intentionally trying to not get as affected and as consumed by what's going on that is outside of my own power to do. There is something that I've learned a few years back, and just only lately I felt like it was necessary for me to do, which is, if you're not able to control you, you're not able to control your house. And if you're not able to control your house, you cannot control and rule and, help the outside world. Your help is going to be useless. Like, help yourself first. Like, let us see what you have to give first, and then maybe later you can, this can be scaled up. But until this works, there's no need for me, for you, for anyone else to just step outside. This is something that I am applying to my own self. I've grown up hearing people, suggesting things, and also promising things, and hoping and wishing that if they were able to, do this, like open a YouTube channel, they would share about this and that. And, years and years later, they still don't have this channel. They still are not doing what they said that they would do. Not necessarily, their impact. That's not it. But the effort behind the action is what is for sure needed to see that you are being serious about what you are confessing with your mouth. And this is something that I'm, going hard on. I know it's, like, one thing that I've learned is that it doesn't have to be the biggest quality, it doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be it, but it just has to be done. And the thing about the small beginnings is that you don't need to be perfect, really. I mean, you have to put your maximum effort always, but of course you're not gonna be perfect. And to a certain degree, you're gonna have more defects in the beginning versus later on during the process. And the good thing about it is that people, there aren't going to be many eyes on you. You're not gonna feel oppressed with all these eyes, like just trying to dissect every single little thing that you do, which I believe is great. At first, it was kind of frustrating to me. Like, I remember when I was much younger that I just wanted things, fast and immediately. And I just was expecting, like, big things in any area of my life, even at school, expecting results immediately. And I was not faithful with the small little things. And then now, as I'm growing older, I'm realizing, actually do not, I think it's also a Bible verse to not to despise the small beginnings. And I'm going to find that out. In Zechariah 4:10, it says, "Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." And so it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to read that, to hear that. And it says that the Lord rejoices. As I'm reading this back, as I'm reading this again, I'm just realizing that God rejoices in this. He is in this, and he sees the small beginnings, and he's like, is as excited as we are, if even more. Like he's even more excited than we are about our beginnings. We get frustrated, and we tend to, like, let's just leave it at that. Like, let's just forget about this and discouraged. We get discouraged pretty easily, but God is like rejoicing as he sees us beginning and working on our beginnings and doing the small little things. So yeah, and even then we must realize that it is just the beginning, and we can't compare that to something that's much bigger, to someone who's been putting more effort, more years, more work. That is not your race. And but God is always calling us back to ourselves. He's always calling our attention, and he's demanding us to just follow him. Thank you for hearing this message. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions. See you next time. Ciao.